Isn't that just the best view to wake up to? But the girlies are going to have to move out of there today, because all being well, all of these fields are going to get spread with lots of lime to help suppress those weeds and encourage that lovely grass to grow, so that we can get on with making a crop of haylage for the next 12 months. So the morning's starting with a bit of horse shuffling. So Hoitze and Jubbers had a night out in the orchard, so they need to come in because we need to get lime on there. Need to bring the boys in because their field is also getting done. And rather than try and squeeze all the girls up at the top yard, I'm going to pop them all in the long field because we're not putting lime on that this year. Maybe that's something that we can tackle next year. I want to say a massive, massive thank you to those of you who've gone onto our website and contributed towards the lime. It's costing around about £3,000 to get 33 acres done with 66 tonne of lime. And so far we've had contributions reaching nearly a third of that. So that's a really, really good start. If anyone else does want to help out with that, because it all goes towards producing their feed, their haylage for the next 12 months, then please do head over to the website, and we'd all be very, very grateful, as will all the boys and girls, because this year's haylage is okay, but I have to say it's got a lot more weeds in it than I would like to see, and they have been quite picky. But it's quite interesting that Philip, our neighbour who's organised the whole liming, also said the same about his. So whether it was just a bad year, we don't know, but certainly we know that this lime is going to make the soil less acidic than it has been, which should stop those weeds from thriving. Good morning. Are you keen to get in, Jubbers? Are you going to lead the way? I'm very pleased to see that he's not pottery with a bit of laminitis, because it did get a little bit frosty first thing this morning. And that frosty grass is never good for laminitics because it has lots of sugars in. But you certainly look to be moving very well, little man. Hidda's just reminding Hoitze that he's the man. But you're both the men, Hidda.
Aww.
Was that it? That was a bit half-hearted, wasn't it, Hoitze? In your youth, you would have spun round and given him what for?
No, he just wants a snack.
He does just want a snack. You're above it now. You can just supervise Nero on the walker. Jubbers has disappeared. Where's Jubbers gone? He's mooched off. He's probably cleaning feed bowls out somewhere.
Oh yeah, mine's weekend.
Yeah. The fencing's all arrived. And David's got another beautiful day to get started on putting this all up, as well as the new gate that we've got for the front there. Now, I've not really shown you anything of the shippen, but Tamara's got loads of footage. As you can see, Michael's been digging the foundations here. Good morning, Pfizer. Wow. What a sight. Oh, and look, we've got little hiddy hops up there. Enjoying the view. Oh, wouldn't it have been nice if the planners had allowed us to have a big glass front on this when it was rebuilt, just to take in that beautiful view. But we're keeping with tradition and just obviously going with the number of windows that it had originally. And we'll watch Michael work his magic over the months to come. We got 2 stone deliveries yesterday. Some pipe bedding stone at the front there and some crush and run. A lot of which will be going down in this area that Tony's cleared. And as you can see, he's put drainage in around the whole area because this does get very wet. And that's all going down to the little moat around the arena. I've come round to where all the serious work goes on. And look, Michael and Tamara are deep in discussion. I hadn't even noticed that she's got the plans up on the wall here. I should show you all a close-up, really. I'll maybe do that later, although I'm sure that it'll be included in one of Tamara's Tales videos. Won't it, Tamara?
It will.
They're 11 by 4, so they're quite skinny that way.
So we've confused the girls this morning. They were down by the gate. Then they saw us drive up here. And then they disappeared back down to the gate. And now they're back here again. Are you ready to come into the long field?
Accepted.
Oh, it's very exciting. Oh, nearly got run over. There we go. Oh. Oh. Oh, who's late to the party, Ren? Oh, happy girls. It's not quite time for your summer turnout, which is over there, although it's dry enough for you to go into. Oh, it's exciting. Yes, little skinny Innie. Doesn't she look well? Spash. Oh, Innie, you don't know what to do with yourself. Beautiful. You can all have your breakfast now. That's called having a proper sleep. Jubbers, are you okay? I'm about to let Doubtson in. Oh, Sparko, little man. Jubbers is proper sunbathing. Oh, he's enjoying little tummy scratches. You're like a big dog, aren't you? Eh? You're like a big doggy. Is that nice? Is that nice? Look, we're busy in the office today. Although Craig and Ryan are very busy in the toilet over there at the moment. But that's because that's where the main fuse board is. Did I get that right? Is that the main fuse board?
Subboard.
Subboard. Okay, and this is where the static and the lodge are going to connect to. He hasn't corrected me, so I must have got that right. It's all very, very confusing.
That's the latest.
Okay. It may all change. I hope it doesn't. So they're busy getting all this sorted. Because it's not just about moving it, it's getting all the services across there. And as you know, Tony put the new wire across here, plus the drainage. And it's all really confusing me. And then up there, Tony and Edward are doing more work. I don't know what Annie's doing right there. Annie, what are you doing? Were you kicking the bucket over? The only reason these mats are back here is because just while there's no electric over there, we just needed to run some power there. But hopefully these mats will be able to go again once it's all connected. So somebody up there must have said that we're looking for garden furniture, because we've just had George from George Adams Trading, who sells garden furniture. They have a number of items that they've used on display that they'll then sell on, and he's come along with these very gorgeous teak benches. So I was quite keen to see what they'd look like in here. So they're not quite, they're a little bit bigger than the ones that we saw at the garden centre. I'm rather liking these, so I think 2 of these out in the Hoitze and Jubbers garden would look rather fabulous. So this is George, and he's just called in very kindly. Do you just do the rounds then at this time of year?
Basically, we're out of season at the moment, so bits and bobs that we had left from displays and things like that, we'll put them on and delivering around the corner in Wood Broughton.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I seen this lady.
Karen and
Steve. Yeah.
Who were just up over the hill here. I driving past yesterday, and Karen was sat in one of the benches, looking very lovely and enjoying herself.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think we won't put it to the vote, because otherwise you'll take these off and sell them to somebody else. So I actually think 2 of these would look lovely in the Hoitze and Jubbers garden, wouldn't they? So yeah, you've got a deal there.
Fantastic.
Thank you. The gate is quite complicated in itself, because the ground slopes away this way, but the gate has to look level and feel comfortable to stand and lean against. So that's completely level, but obviously the gap under here is bigger than this side.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
So we've got to work out which angle we want to have it at. We'll get there. So we've bought 2 of these beautiful benches. So I think one needs to be Hoitzes, one needs to be Jubbers. And I think we can include these on the sponsorship list. And then David's just set out how the fencing's going to be. So we're going to go for 3 rails rather than 2, because that makes it a bit more substantial. And have we reached a decision on the gate then?
Yeah.
Yeah? He's going to hide now. He loves being on camera, really. Oh, and look who's had a little trip out. Oh, look, Jodie's got the Friesian smile.
Oh, it's so nice to get on him.
We think it's probably a couple of years since you've ridden
I
him.
think so, yeah. Yeah, we just went down the road and up halfway up that little bridle lane back. 'cause he
Yeah.
likes doing that.
Oh, I
They all
bet
like that little track.
they do. It's such a good track.
Yeah, and
Oh.
even coming down here, there was a skip and there was a lorry, and he was fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I always think back to the days when he'd always get really uptight, and you just have to sit there and go, it's fine.
And then he says,
And
yeah,
then he goes, okay then.
it's fine. Look, he's a happy little boy. Eh?
Sleep now, can't you?
Little sleep, and then you're going to have to be shutting your enclosure tonight because I think the lime needs to wash in first.
Have they done their field? Or?
No, they've started on the barn field. You are so handsome, Hannes.
Actually, he feels sound.
Yeah?
You know, he feels quite even. So, yeah.
So obviously that arthramid has done something.
Yeah, because he always felt, well, from when I last rode him, you'd always feel like he was really pushing against your right leg and he was quite uneven, but he actually feels like he steps through quite nicely. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been quite tight in front, so you almost need to encourage him just to stretch down a bit. But yeah, he feels sound and happy,
And that's all we need.
if we can just do this once a week.
Yeah,
you know,
even if
to
it
get
is
him
just
out.
once a week.
Yeah.
Lovely. You can go and have a little sleep now. You gorgeous boy. This makes me happy. Delighted to say that the liming has started. And it's really still today, but it's still blowing around a bit. But hopefully this is perfect timing because we are supposed to be getting some rain over the weekend. So he's in the girls' summer turnout, which we call the barn field at the moment. Look, Peter's getting some extra lime on his land as it's blowing across there. Oh, and I can almost taste it in the air. So he started there and then he's going to go down to the 14 acre over here, into the orchard, into the main haylage field, the 9 acre field over here, and then into the boys down in front of us. We've got Philip over here, he's organised it all. We've got Alan here and Ryan over there.
He's
That have
pretending
been...
to be on.
Oh, is he pretending to be on the phone? Yeah.
I
don't like to be seen.
Oh, okay. Much like you. Oh, no, you like to be on video, don't you?
You just get me all tied.
I know. Have I got your good side?
You meant to be at work.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. We won't talk about what day it is. It's a weekend, really.
Yeah, weekend. We're just
So-
making the most of the weather, aren't we?
So, how was that first field to do? The barn field?
Haven't got stuck anywhere.
No, it's so dry, isn't it?
Yeah. Shouldn't make a mess today. If we make a mess today, something's going
Something's wrong, isn't it? Yeah.
Excellent. So, which field are you doing next?
Barnfield, I'm on
We're doing
Barnfield.
Barnfield now. He's going to do 9 acre and 14 acre next.
Okay.
Ryan's
Excellent.
finished now with mine, so he's both in the horse now.
Yeah. Get that orchard
There's
done.
another wagon on its way somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we've got the field in front of the house as well, where
That one, yeah.
where the shelter is.
Wet shelter is, yeah.
Yeah. Are we best to keep the horses off it?
Well, yeah, till it rains, really. It won't
Yeah.
do any harm, but they won't really like eating anything.
No, that's fine. Well, the girls are in the long field and the boys are up the top, and we can shut them in their shelter. So, excellent.
We're on camera now, right?
Yeah, you're on camera.
You watch your
Yeah.
P's and Q's.
Have you done your hair?
Yeah, I did that this morning.
Anyway, I'm going to leave you to get your coffee break. Thank you very much. And you're going to bring me up a bucket of the lime that I can put in the Hoitze and Jubbers garden. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
I can't tell you how proud I am of you, Bailey.
Thanks.
Honestly, you've put on 2 fantastic performances on stage this afternoon, singing musical theatre and another vocal solo. And you actually won this trophy last year, and you've won it again this year.
Yeah.
Are you pleased with yourself?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's been a really good festival once again.
It has.
Yeah, and the adjudicator even got you up on stage, and what did she do with you?
Did like gestures and meaning them with me.
So she just asked you whether you'd do a little workshop with her up on stage, and you were brilliant. Look at those frosty white looking fields, all with that lime spread across them. That's going to make the grass grow beautifully, and hopefully no buttercups. There might be a few this year. So again, a massive thank you to our infamous anonymous donor and everybody who's contributed towards getting this done this year. And let's look forward to a really, really lush crop of grass that we can make into haylage for all the boys and girls. The gate's on. Oh, it's a gate that works. How beautiful. Very elegant. End of the day, we've come up to see what Tony and Edward have done. It's blooming amazing. Absolutely amazing what they've done in just a few days. So it's all nicely drained. There's still work to be done, but the pad will go down in the morning. We've got this little drainage channel to a rather sad looking pond, I have to say, with loads of frog spawn or toad spawn in it, which we kind of need a little bit of rain now so that they can survive. That was a really good toad impression for somebody who doesn't like toads.
I really don't like them. They move too quickly.
Oh, they're going to be our neighbours.
Neighbours separately to us. Yes.
Yeah. And then Frey made a very good point about this pond.
Yeah.
Who's it for?
Well, no, actually, Nero will want it as well. Nero and Mabel.
We're not having Nero or Mabel free reigning. No.
Well,
but they can
Mabel
just-
maybe
yeah.
not Nero
But
right
Nero
now.
can just come up and have a play and then, you know, disappear again.
Yeah, he can
Back
just
out
have a
to the
splash,
yard.
and
Splash.
he can enjoy watching Peppa Pig rolling in her muddy puddles.
Yeah.
But only when the toads are alive and have vacated the area. But I'm sure this will fill in no time once the Lake District rain returns.
It'll
Saturday.
grow nice and green.
Yeah. Philip's just bought up the last bit of the lime that we'll be able to spread in the Hoitze and Jubbers garden. Well, this feels a bit weird not having free rainers because we had to enclose them all last night. Otherwise they would have gone walked on the area that's been prepared for the concrete. So we got Annie, Hida and Princecle up there. Look at that look of disgust on Annie's face. I will go and get your breakfast now. Morning, Spash. Morning, Inna. Hey, pretty gal. Hey, pretty gal. That's Yodel on the left. Micah. Mabel at the back, Dale at the front, Neeky Noodles and Renpen. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Don't mind me. Dale, you coming in with me? Got you a nice big breakfast and we'll go to Mel's this afternoon. Yeah? That's my gloves, you don't want to eat them. Should we have our second trip out, Nero? I think you need a little bit of a tidy up first. You're looking rather grubby and impatient, as usual. Now that's not a sight that you would often see, because the girls generally don't like Jubbers. But Doutson's sharing with him really nicely there. Oh, Dow. Oh, are you pretending that he's your baby? Hey? Meanwhile, Hoitze is snoozing over in the corner. And I've got over here Nero and Annie. Nero's about to have his second ride and lead. Day 2, and I think we'll go up the hill today. So it's quite windy today, and he's already being very cheeky there, trying to grab onto Annie's reins and trying to nip on her. So these are the reasons why I can't always film so much. I could put the GoPro on my head, and I will do for some of the others. There we go. We've let go of the reins now, and we're taking him to a whole new location. So again, you can see his lips are quite tightly pursed, and there's quite a lot of snorting, and it's because it's somewhere that he's never been before. So we've actually stopped on the road because he was getting quite rude, and he just had so much tension through him. So we've just stopped, and I've just been helping him with his relaxation, with just putting a little bit of pressure on his neck, which he's used to in the arena. He's tried barging into Annie, thought he was going to jump up on her at one point, but he's beginning to settle now. There was a bit of licking and chewing, so it just shows, you know, as soon as he's taken into a new environment, you know, he does find it difficult. And it's a case of keeping nice and calm with him. I do have to be strong because a couple of times he's really pulled on the rope. So I have to give him a little half halt and use the sounds that I use to ask him to settle. And obviously Annie is really good because she just stays calm as well. So this is much better than it was coming down the hill. He's a good boy, but you can see again, the lips are pursed tight. He's looking at a lot. His nostrils are flaring and he's snorting a bit, but there is a little bit more relaxation there. So we've just gone as far as the old barn and stables. And he's a little more relaxed. We've now got a hill to climb up, and that's where he's going to start feeling a little more tired. So there's licking and chewing there, but there's still tension. Well, he didn't get tired coming up the hill, and that certainly did test me, but it tested him as well, because there were some very excitable moments for him coming up the hill. There was quite a bit of leaping and jumping around, you know, and this is where it's a really fine line, because he could have just tanked off. So I have to be very quick and actually quite strong. But I have to release the pressure very quickly because I want him to go along on a loose rein. I don't want to be holding him back, and I certainly don't want to be putting a bridle and a bit on. But, you know, he could have very easily taken advantage, but it shows how much he's learned already, but he has still got a long way to go in terms of learning to manage himself in new situations. But now he's back on home territory. You can see through his face he's much more relaxed, and I think that he'll find that he'll be absolutely exhausted now for the rest of the day. Because that was quite a challenge for you, wasn't it? There's another Friesian smile. Susan's just done a little bit of groundwork with Zhao, with little Spesh. So they'll have both thoroughly enjoyed that. So little Spesh has done a bit with Susan today. And now I've got her big sister Yodel out for a little amble down the road. And we'll go and have a little walk around the 9-acre field as well. So we've come through the 9-acre, the main haylage field. And you can see in places where the lime is just sitting on top there. But hopefully by tomorrow, when the rains come, this will all be washed in. I think little Yodel is enjoying her little trip out. I think we'll go back through what we call the footpath field, over the top there. She's a good girl, Yodel. I'd forgotten that we'd fenced off that bottom end of the field. So we're going to have to venture back through the 9-acre and up the hill. Sorry, Yodel. It's still a nice change of scenery though, isn't it? Eh? You puffing a little bit? But she starts off very, what would be classed as backward, because she's quite stiff. So we did quite a few exercises and stretches before we left. But it does take her a little while to warm up. But once she's going, she's got a proper good march on her. She's so lovely. Aren't you, Yodel? Eh? So with any luck, we'll be able to do some life hacks with her as well this year, as well as, of course, the golden girl Renska. What do you think, eh? We're over at Mel's. She's got all sorts of things planned for today. Jodie's over there with Iceman. She's got the tarpaulin and the cones. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. There's an umbrella over there. Doutson's quite curious. Dow, are you enjoying watching Iceman? Oh, it's so tiring. So tiring. Look, he's doing all sorts of interesting things. We're just at the end of the session. He's learning to find relaxation on the tarpaulin. What a good boy. First of all, he was picking it up with his mouth, and he was scraping it with his feet. But now, between them, Jodie and Mel, giving Jodie guidance, he's now found a place of rest. He looks quite relaxed. He actually looks like he's about to go to sleep. Dow, do you want to try the tarpaulin now? Do you want to give it a go?
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear. With every breath I take, I'm grateful you are near. So grateful, yeah. Thank you for the laughter, thank you for the tears. Thank you for the moments that we hold dear.